Okay, today I got a question for you. And the question is simply, do you love Jesus Christ? That is what matters. That's his first commandment. And love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength. That's the most important commandment. That is the most important question you can ask yourself. In John chapter 14, Christ says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he will send you a comforter, the Spirit of truth. That's what he will send you if you keep his commandments. You won't be able to be deceived once you have the Spirit of truth. So what matters is if you love Jesus Christ. And the answer to that is simply, do you keep his commandments? Because if you don't keep his commandments, you don't love him. You don't love him enough to do what he says. I know it's tough words to say, but it's the truth. I had to ask that same question. I had to say, well, Christ, do I love you? And the second you love him, when you really start to love him and he comes into your heart and he fills you up with his Spirit, with his divine grace, and you start thinking about all the things he's done for you, how he can come into you and fill you up with this pure passion, this fire that he can put inside of a man and change you. Then you start listening to what he tells you. You start seeing when he says don't go there, I don't want to go there anymore. Even though my flesh wants to, Abba, I won't go. I won't go to that place. That's how you know you love him, is when he tells you to do something and you do it. Don't just say, well, it's in my nature to sin. Yes, it's in your nature to sin. It's in your nature to not do what he tells you to do. I agree, it's in your flesh's nature. But in Galatians chapter 5 it says, walk in the Spirit and you will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. It's really important that if you walk in the Spirit, if you're truly focused on him all day, if you love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, you're not going to go there. You're not going to do these things. You're not going to just walk according to the ways of the flesh. You're not. That's just the way it is. And in 1 John chapter 3 it even says, whoever sins doesn't know God. Just read it. Read 1 John. And I think it's a very beneficial book for you to read if you're praying for guidance, if you're praying for wisdom when you're reading it. It'll show you a lot about who the true sons and the true children of God are. The true children of God love God. Okay, sin is of the devil. The devil's been sinning from the beginning. Sin is the devil. That's his work. Love is God. God is love. Okay, we have to understand that. And if we love, we don't sin. Okay, and if we sin, we don't love him. What kind of father? I've heard this before too. I've heard people say, well, what if, the Ten Commandments are God's standard, and it's impossible to meet God's standard. Okay, what kind of loving father, what kind of truly loving, adoring father is going to tell his son to do something that he knows he can't do? A good father is not going to do that. A good father that sent his son to die for you isn't going to say, hey, go over there, even though I know you can't do it, I'm going to tell you to. And no. Our Father is not going to tell us to do things that we're entirely incapable of doing. Maybe we are on our own accord. I see that. My flesh, if I go out and try to keep the commandments without keeping my eyes on Christ, without keeping my eyes on the love that I have for my Father, I'm doomed. I am doomed, just like anyone else who doesn't love him. That's what I'm going to fall into. I understand that. And the question is that I have for each and every one of you today is, my friend, do you love Jesus Christ? Do you love him? Because he came and he loved you. He still loves you. He came and he died for you. He took your nails on your cross. Okay, so you could crucify your flesh. So you can be dead with him on the cross. Okay, that the old man, the old evil man that you may or may not still be, could die, could be gone, could be wiped out for good. Okay, and now you can live according to him, according to what he wants you to do. And following him, keeping his commands, doing the things he says for you to do, it's not grievous anymore. It's not like, oh, man, I can't sin today. Oh, man, I don't want to do it. No, it's not like that. It's more of like, I love you, Abba. I love you so much, and I'm going to do what you tell me to do today. I'm going to follow you today. I'm going to go wherever you would have me go. And I'm going to stay away from anything that'll get in the way of me and you, because I love you. Okay, and that's the love of God. And love, if you mix that with fear, if you fear Him as well, then you're not going to go there. You're not going to look upon a woman with lust in your eyes. You're not even going to start to look at her. That used to be one of my biggest problems when I didn't love God, is I would look at women and I'd pray, God, oh, I feel so bad. I shouldn't look at them like this, but it was wrong. And wrong is wrong. I'm sorry. Lust, if you look at them, that lust in your eyes, you've already fornicated with them in your heart. You've already done evil in your heart. Okay, and God knows our hearts. And if you love Him, you're not going to go there. You're going to say, no, I won't go there. That's not me. I love God. I love Jesus Christ. I love Him with all my heart. And that's the way it is. And if you love Him, you'll love everybody. You'll love all people. Because He loves this world so much that He didn't just die for you. He died for your neighbors. He died for your sister, for your little brother, for your enemies even. We're to love our enemies. We're not to hate our enemies. Okay? And if you love God, you'll love your enemies, because you got to understand, God died for them too. Christ died for them too. He took them nails for everybody, not just you. You know, and I just ask that you really take God seriously, that you take His love seriously, and you really turn to Him and say, God, I love you. And you have to mean it. You have to mean it with your heart. You have to really love Him, because He put you on this earth. It's by His grace right now that you're breathing. It's by His grace that you're watching this video, that you're living another minute. And every day you wake up, He gives you another chance to turn to Him and to love Him and to do the things He tells you to do. I just thank you for listening, guys.